Greetings, this is Warrior King, and the time has come for the lions and the lioness to tell their own story. This is the lion's voice. Give thanks and praise for the wonderful blessing that's been poured on me. Give thanks and praise. Jah use I as an instrument to set the people free. Jah give her the power to chant. Jah give her the power to chant. Ras Tafari, the lion's voice. Bigger.
I'm Nana Farika. The time has come for the lioness to tell her story from her viewpoint and tell the world who Queen Omega is. This is the lion's voice.
In the system.
So the calendar of events is there are 12 Zooms, one every month, and I'm looking to attract a certain demographic. Ras Tafari Sistren, ages 18 to 35.
Okay.
Why? Because when I look behind I don't see anybody. Not like it used to be.
Talk about it.
And so as I look forward, I'm looking to pass the baton. I'm not the sage on the stage, and so I do need to connect with that younger generation of Rastafari women, because simply I can't be arrogant and assume that their ideologies are my ideologies, or that their philosophies are my philosophies.
It's
right?
Not. It's not. I can tell you, I interview some of them. It's not. They're changing. So
okay, good. And so I think it is the role, of some of I and I who consider ourselves as leaders, in our communities, who consider ourselves as jegnas, because I'm a jegna, And so how do I and I ensure that this liberty that we love, that we have sacrificed so much for, that it continues and that it endures, and not that it just endures in a superficial or mediocre way, but that it endures in a triumphant way, And so the only way that can be done is to make that bridge, is to make that bridge between us and that other generation.
The year is 1892, and the land of Ethiopia has been experiencing 4 years of terrible famine and drought. They call it the Kikuken, or the evil days. At least 1/3 of the human population and 90% of the cattle have died. The hyenas have feasted on so many carcasses that they have become overweight and barely able to move. Just when the people could take no more of the evil days, a woman named Wasiro Yeshimabe is giving birth in a place called Erjersa Gora. This is her 9th attempt to bring forth new life. Her previous 8 attempts only resulted in deaths. Will this child live? Thankfully, a healthy baby boy is born. His first cries are drowned by thunder and lightning flashes across the night sky. The heavens open up and torrential rain starts to fall. Ethiopia's drought is over, and the baby boy is given the name Tafari, meaning one to be feared or respected. Lich Tafari's father, Ras Menen, is a very important man in 1892 Ethiopia. Although he is overjoyed at the birth of his newborn son, he cannot spend much time with him. Ras Menen is the governor of Harar and must get back to the famous walled city to deal with its affairs. Furthermore, he is the foreign minister of Ethiopia, and having traveled to different places in Europe, he is very aware of the material and military advances they have made and the looming threats they pose to his country. Ras Menen knows that the majority of Ethiopians have no idea what is coming, and that he has to work that much harder to secure the realm. Lich Tafari would grow up to become the legendary emperor, Haile Selassie I. To understand his journey, we must first understand the Ethiopia that he was inheriting, and what it was like when he was born in 1892. Get your copy of Kwesi Bansu's book, Haile Selassie I, Ethiopia, Volume 1, The Rise of the Priestly Warrior Kings, and increase your knowledge about the history, politics, and culture of Ethiopia in 1892, and how it connects to the rest of African and world history at the time. Haile Selassie I, Ethiopia, Volume 1 is available for purchase at www.bookmanexpress.pub. Please visit for more information.
Before the eye seal, we want to know more about Lalibela Institute, and I understand that there's a whole calendar of fullness that is coming forward, and we're going to ask that to return to talk more about this calendar as it evolves and to share footage and to share things with us over the year. But just give us an overview of Lalibela Institute, what the works are, what the vision is, and what's in store for this year.
Lalibela Institute is a nonprofit. It's an educational nonprofit. And so I am a college professor. My area of expertise is culturally responsive pedagogy and culturally responsive leadership, right? And so I decided that I would take some of that training that I had learned in the academy, as well as some of the experience that I've had as an educator for over 28 years, and bring it home. And so I decided that I would work with youths, from middle school through college. And so that's basically what I do. I have a calendar of courses that ones can go on to the website and look at, and you can take courses. The fee is very, affordable. And so they range in rigor. Now, even though it was set out or established to be an educational institution for youths, it has morphed more so into an educational institution for Rastafari women. And that's fine, because women are the first teachers. We all know that. And so if that's the route, that the universe and the universe wanted the institute to take, then I'm fine with that. However, we also now have a physical space, the Jazz Match, where the I actually came and did your book talk,
Yes.
and everyone thoroughly enjoyed that. But initially, we started out as an online programming source. And now we actually have a physical space, and it is also open to the community to utilize. I hold workshops there. We do yoga, we do meditation. And so, if an individual who is in the community would like to utilize the space to host an event, we're also open for that as well. But Lalibela Institute definitely is it's the place where the Blue Fire School of Thought is actualized, because Blue Fire has gone from, Cichlin's, just utilizing the sound to now being a world lens. How we view we view the world through the Blue Fire lens.
All right, give thanks. So make sure you go to the website. All the things that she said are there. What are some of the events planned for this year? As you said, I was honored to hold a reasoning around Haile Selassie's Ethiopia, where we sold out of books at the time. You know what I mean? So well attended, well received. I was also able to perform there like an artist, intimate vibration. It was such a joy. But share with us some of the events planned for this year.
Okay, so some of the annual events that we have at the Institute, we host events for all of the major high holidays within Rastafari, and so most of the events are lectures. There'll be a lecture surrounding, Haile Selassie's Earthlight, his ascension to the throne as emperor. And one of the signature events of Lalibela Institute is the marriage supper event, which
Okay.
is the celebration of or the marriage of Haile Selassie and Empress Menen, July 31st, 1911. And so I have been agitating, right, that this day be added to the Rastafari calendar. And so we celebrate the Empress's Earthlight, the Emperor's Earthlight. However, what about when that force, right, of the Jah and Jahzani became one, right? And so I think that that day should be celebrated. And so I have been celebrating it really for the past 15 years because even as the director of education and founder of the Haile Selassie First Learning Center, which is the first Rastafari organization that I founded, I began celebrating that union of Haile Selassie and Empress Menen there as well. So we're very excited to always do that. And so that celebration will look something like a banquet or an intimate dinner where Rastafari brethren will come with their wives and share. And we don't celebrate Valentine's Day, but this is our version of Black Love Day, July 31st,
I love it.
1911.
And we've started commemorating it here on the Lion Voice Network. We did a special episode with Yasantua to talk about the union and those things, and we're going to continue as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I would love to at some point come and capture that event for the network so that ones can see. I am a big advocate, as the item know, for family, the Rastafari family, because we cannot build a nation if our families are fractured. And one of the main causes of trauma or intergenerational trauma that we carry from the slavery time is this fractured family structure, which lead to fight or flight. So anytime we try to come together, either we fighting or we, people take away themselves, and we're not able to build stability. So with strong families, we will be able to work together. We'll build wealth. There is no community on this planet that doesn't emphasize families that is successful. You know what I mean? And His Majesty himself awarded families that were married over 25 years different honors, and he himself was an example. And both he and Empress Menen had children before their union, but they made it work. And so within Rastafari, it's our prayer that we create a culture of family. And to seal up, I want to talk about your book, because I really wrote okay, go ahead.
Okay, so the calendar of events.
Yeah.
I didn't talk about that, so I'm really
Okay,
excited
no,
about
go,
that.
take your time, go forward. Yeah, man.
Okay, good. So the calendar of events is there are 12 Zooms, one every month, and I'm looking to attract, right, a certain demographic. Rastafari Sistren, ages 18 to 35.
Okay.
Why? Because when I look behind I don't see anybody. Not like it
About it.
used to be.
Talk about it.
And so as I look forward, I'm looking to pass the baton. I'm not the sage on the stage, and so I do need to connect with that younger generation of Rastafari women because simply I can't be arrogant and assume that their ideologies are my ideologies or that their philosophies are my philosophies.
It's
Right?
not. It's not. I can tell you, I interview some of them. It's not. They're changing. So
Okay, good. And so I think it is the role, right, of some of I and I who consider ourselves as leaders, right, in our communities, who consider ourselves as jegnas, because I'm a jegna, right? And so how do I and I ensure that this liberty that we love, that we have sacrificed so much for, right? That it continues and that it endures. And not that it just endures in a superficial or mediocre way, but that it endures in a triumphant way, right? And so the only way that can be done is to make that bridge, is to connect, make that bridge between us and that other generation. And so I have designed topics or created topics that I put myself again in the position of the 18-year-old Jahzani. And what would I have wanted to know, right? What type of camaraderie would I like to have had with other sistren? Because there were very few Rastafari sistren in my community at that time who were older, who were even willing, right, to engage younger Rastafari sistren on a deep level. And so I will not continue that trend. And so every month, sistren can log on, and if they're interested, they can go to my Facebook page, right, Jahzani Kush, and send out a friend request, or just send me a message and say, please share the calendar of events. And so we had the first topic, first night, and it was Haile Selassie as the perfect example of manhood. So what does that really mean? Because here as Rastafari sistren, there are those of us who are single, right? And so we're really thinking about what it is that we're looking for, right, in Kingman, and also using Haile Selassie I as a litmus test, right? Looking at his life, reading his autobiography, reading the selected speeches. And you know how at one point, there was a trend, what would Jesus do? Everybody was wearing these bracelets, what would Haile do? Really and truly, and so as Rastafari women, we're looking very much at Haile Selassie, and we're using him as the measuring stick for the brethren who will become our kingmen. And so that was a good session. And so they're all of them, some of the sessions, I don't have the literature in front of me, but I can tell you some of them are dealing with Rastafarian courtship. Some of them are talking about having multiple streams of income. Others are talking about what does it mean to yard this journey as a single Rastafari woman. So there are a lot of topics. And so I just encourage, and I'm going to tell you, even though I set up that demographic, 18 to 35, I've had a lot of sistren contact me and said, Jahzani, I am coming on. I've aged out, but I really love the topics and I want to be a part of it. And the jazz match, I have extended it to brethren.
What?
Because you know what? I want the item to just, to be observers now, but
Make that clear, because brethren will come and take over the thing and try to talk over.
That's right. So I'm saying just come and just sata. You understand?
Yeah.
Let the daughters of Zion, engage. And the item, just listen. I mean, we've listened to the item since 1930.
She's like the flowers in my garden, and her heart has never hardened, and she give me loving in the morning. Babylon, you are go far without no warning. Black woman, I said I wanna be your lover, and I don't want any other. You alone, I could be my children's mother. But no struggle, so we both could help each other, and then I wanna be your lover, and I don't want any other. You alone, I could be my children's mother. But no struggle, so we both could help each other. Started in the village, now we in the city. Journey where we have together, everybody see. Spent a little time out in captivity. Babylon, their plan was to destroy the family. Still I want you to bring a child for me. Maybe in the spring when birds are sing lovely, maybe we could could plan to have a summer baby. I can be the man that you depend on. Put the pen to the paper, made a love song. Babylon, they separated us for so long, and the reason that they hated us was so wrong. Still the most High He created us, we so strong. Then same Kushite and the Dogon. Love your melanin, no follow fi them program. Black woman me nah go pass on you fi no one. No one, that's my slogan. Black woman, I said I wanna be your lover, and I don't want any other. You alone, I could be my children's mother. But no struggle, so people could help each other. Then I wanna be your lover, and I don't want any other. You alone, I could be my children's mother. But no struggle, so people could help each other. She's like the oxygen in my flame. Loving where we have nobody can contain. Love so powerful, survive shackle and chain. Love it cross the ocean way before planes. Love survive them torture, rape and dear pain. When one escape, then the other get blame. That's why I never put no one above you. That's why I'm not ashamed to say I love you. That's why them dirty Babylon, they judge you. Feel the power when I kiss and when I hug you. Hold you for hours when I think about how they grudge you. I'm a lion, so I never gonna bug you.